In this exercise, we're going to talk about editing the revision table styles. We've not talked a whole lot about styles up to this point, but in the dimensioning and drawing environment, styles are everything. Styles are what controls the way everything looks and how everything acts. The revision table is one of the things that you definitely need to tweak a little bit right out of the box to get it to look something more like what you want. So we come to the Manage tab and we click on the Styles Editor, and right away we notice that there's a lot more options in here than what we had in the model or assembly environment. We come in here and we select Revision Table, and we can start editing this. But remember what I said before, don't edit anything before you actually make a copy of it. So you say, Revision Table Andy. And now what I can do is come in here and start changing things. I have the ability to change, what's it called? Instead of saying Revision History, say Revision Table, or I can say just Revision. I can change the text style, the heading gap. I can choose, is the header going to be at the top and the table coming down? Or is the header going to be down here at the bottom and the table going up? You can adjust the heading independently of which direction the table goes. So you can adjust that there. You can adjust the spacing. You can do double space or triple space. You can adjust the grid itself. How do you want your spreadsheet to show up? Really and truly, the real money is right here in the default column settings. This is where you're going to spend most of your editing time, or at least this is where I do. I don't ever do zones, and we don't do approved by. We do author to show who edited it. I have all my iProperties in here, and I can add any of them to my revision table that I want to, and I can even make a new property. I hit OK. So then what I can do is come in here and start editing the default widths. Say 5, say 3, date, I think I'm going to leave about 1, author about 1.5. So now I have my columns the way I want. I make my dialog a little bit bigger here. You can see comments. So I can say Andy. Say full username here. Or I can just say I changed it to whatever. So I can add some information in here. It is kind of important because when you get a lot of changes going on, you have a lot of people making changes or requesting changes, can't remember why you did something. I just had this the other day. Somebody said, hey, I need everything that's changed since last year. I don't remember everything that's changed since last year. I remember we changed a bunch of stuff, but I don't remember if it was last year or 6 years ago. So I do like to make comment notes in here so I can see, okay, we didn't like the line weight of this particular line, so we came in here and changed it for this reason. The other option we have is revision tags. We can choose whether we want them to be round or hexagon or triangular. We can come in here and change the actual substyle of the leader itself. For the most part, these are pretty good out of the box. Like I said, the main thing here is all the money in here and what columns you use and what width the columns are. So I save this, I hit done. And I come over here to my annotation, I'm going to test it. So I'm going to say, okay, all this. I'm going to make sure I use the Andy revision table there. Took all that hard time to make it. And you'll notice it'll snap in there for me. And everything looks pretty good. Now, my name isn't centered there. I like my name to be centered. I'm kind of an egomaniac like that. So I can right click on it, say edit, go to format, change it to centered. Okay, and it's changed. Now, that's not actually changed the style. I would actually need to right click and say edit revision table style, and it'll pull it back up for me. So I can say this column here, I want to be centered, but this column here, I want to be left value. Now, just because I changed that doesn't mean that it actually changed to here. You would have to manually change this, or you'd have to delete it and reinsert it. The style itself isn't dynamically linked back to the table. So if you do make changes, you got to reinsert it. Good thing is you don't ever make changes to a revision table. Once you get it set up the way you want it, it's pretty much always going to be like that. If you don't like it, then you can go back and tweak it, but very rarely do you ever have to tweak the revision table after you get it created. If you do need to change the styles, you can select it, come up here and change styles. And then we do want to set that style to be the active style. So I can come in here, make sure this is everything I want. And then I come in here to my object defaults. Sort by object type. Find my revision table, change it to Andy. Do the same thing with my revision tag. Done. Save my edits. So now every time I enter a revision table, it'll automatically be the Andy revision table. So I can see there, everything looks good, everything's centered the way I want it, and that's my revision table. The next exercise, we'll actually go through and practice inserting revision tables, and I'll walk you through step by step. But that's how to edit the style of it. Once again, it's under Manage, Styles Editor, and then you have your revision table style, and then that is stored in your object defaults. We'll go through the object defaults in a little bit more detail here in a little bit. Play with this and see if you can set up your styles for your revision table to get it the way you want it. If you upgrade your computer, don't forget to do this. One of the things I always forget to do, if I go to a new computer, I can't figure out why my revision table looks so bad. It's because I forget to go in there and edit my style and change it back the way I want it. So first thing you need to do is set up your style, get it the way you want it. Then we'll go through and actually practice inserting them and talk about that in the next exercise.